Welcome to Onivia Highlights. These are the best highlights from the EMEA Masters Winter 2025.
Matchup if he gets an advantage.
Yeah, a pretty important point, right? Especially since I literally came off hyping him up. But I feel like it's really important when this matchup can also fall flat. Ladies and gentlemen, we're into our first semi-finals here. It's a three-day spree here at EMEA Masters. And IJC already Hansam baiting it in. It's Hansam D. He baits me further as the flash for flash occurs. 3x, he's just dead. Straight away, first blood over to Hansam D and a nice bait. Minions are going to be in the way. Dragon's going to start in the meantime, but top. That's the second time we're going a little bit frisky up there as Prime once again punishing Ensur. He gets sent back to the turret, but this time Sam D gets the auto down and a second kill over to this Misfortune.
Great play right there from Ici Japon's bot lane, completely catching KCB by surprise, who assumed the bot lane had gone for... He's only level 5 compared to the level 6 of Theocax. I think he only needs one more camp though. He's very close to it if he can't get caught.
Prime's not going to let him right in the way into the Raptors. Ensur jumps in as well, but Prime is happy to trample this up. Nature's Grasp, you mentioned, the level 6 advantage is big with the Bramble Smash, layering them in, and Surges into his grasp is great. The Shockwave in, stolen away, does a bit of damage, but Prime is flashed on, now flashes away, and it's messy, but it works for Ici Japon. In Exa in the middle of this fight gets body blocked. No arcane shifts out in the end. A massive win for this weird octopus.
3 for 1 in favor of said octopus there. Great.
He has no sight in wanting to contest this. He's not even going to start the grubs as he wanted to get the Sun to Sky, and maybe that kicks him off for the 2 versus 2 or a setup through mid-jungle. But Theocax just takes that.
That's feats as well. I know we were just... I think that's feats.
So we like feet then, okay?
Yeah, we're definitely... Now that it's relevant.
Now that they're there, we do like feet. Hansam D might be in trouble though. No cleanse taking this game. He's got a barrier, he's got a flash. First one comes out, and the second... Not going to matter. Shutdown Zed. Teleport behind though as Certus gets into the thick of it with Prime as well. Shockwave pulls in the Ezreal. A headbutt pulverized. A barrier still there. Certus getting low as Enzo's played this well. He's got in front of the wave, but Prime now pops the ulti. Slow Q moving in as well. An opportunity for KC Blue as the Shockwave stolen, but not in range. Chain slash into an abscond duct. And Slow Q gets into the middle of it. KC Blue fighting fire with fire. Finally having a save, but Mains has been engaged on. This is a response play, but Howling getting burnt down is not on the way. A Vault Breaker and Assault and Battery, and Howling getting battered himself on both sides of the map. They're winning out. And the early game we criticised is now thought down into the pit, and even Certus dies on bot in the re-dive. IJC had everything, and KC Blue just took it all.
KC Blue, we thought they were out of this early game.
Gusset Blows are doing a lot in this early game to turn it around as KC Blue. Speaking of a turnaround, are going to assault, a cease, and desist the play, but Isma gets bullet time. They just sit there and take it. While Mainta's ulti was beautiful in the response, but now that there's top laner here on the other side, IJC are fighting back. A big shutdown while KC Blue are running for the hills, and it looks to be throw for throw, blow for blow, play for play, 14 kills. With mid-turret down and out of the way.
Mid-turret, and it should be the Dragon as well, going over to Ici Japon. It's throws
Advantage would lay with KC's team comp right now if we decided to go for a full-out engage, especially with that red carpet. Here comes the teleport for Slow Q. We're going for the fight.
Okay, and remember, Slow Q has Hijack up and available again. He can pick a new target to teleport in response. It's going to be Howling moving into position. Slow Q, though, doesn't get the ulti out until now. He's got the cowbell, but Ensur has got the death knell. Nature's Grasp flashes away, but he gets tagged on the end. Theocax finds him. Shockwave brings him Mainter and drops a red carpet, but only walking it is him. IJC 5 alive, Dragon in the name, and a good punish onto KC Blue.
Teams are just fumbling a little bit on the objective setups. Really good in the skirmishes and in the fights, but it's a little bit sloppy. The red carpet. Like, the problem with Misfortune setting up bullet time is you are so not only telegraphed where you're positioned, but you are stuck in that position.
True.
And it is the easiest thing to just drop down something like Rumble ulti, and then for everyone else to collapse on top of it. So it's much better used in this scenario, this game, as a follow-up tool.
True.
As in, sure now, you better just jump over the wall, but I'm not so sure.
Good mallet in the back there. Turret's going to go down in the meanwhile, but maybe a trade kill as an explosive shock blast with Prime coming up, setting up, and spiking down for Howling to get the kill. They're on Atakan's side of the map, and that's an advantage with no disengage in Ensur. Atakan starts off.
This is a big one right here as well.
Langdon knows that Howling is Not there yet. His teleport has to come in, but it's going to take a while. Remember, it's another teleport of old as Slowq's in. And look how far away Howling is at 4K. There's the red carpet down. Slowq's in the back with an Alistar ult as well. It would be okay, but the CC's used a shockwave even bigger. IJC taking KCB to court. And I'm telling you, when an octopus knows how to use a briefcase and his fat mouth, you're going to jail. KC Blue running up mid, smashed to the ground, a triple over to Hansam D, and that misfortune early lead is paying dividends in game 1.
Ici Japon moving straight to the Nash here as well, winning the team fight, winning the dragon, and now going to be winning this big purple worm. It's impressive stuff here from the NFL number 2, who seem to potentially have found
a middling game. I don't know how to argue the point right now. Not important because the red carpet's down again, but Prime's engaged even better. Sets up with the shockwave, and they're blown apart yet again. The Nature's Grasp from backwards sets up for Hansam D to get a perfectly lined ulti. Howling is taking care of business on Slowq while the rest of KC Blue are running to the safety of their side of the map. The flash in vain. 3 members dead again, and you know what? Another triple kill sets up to give him a quadra. Simple as that. Hansam D gets ahead early, and that's a recipe for success for IJC in game 1.
Look at all those little voidlings barreling into the base of KCB, plus Shelly, plus Baron Buff, plus IJC's entire roster. There is nothing KCB can do about this one, and that will be game number 1 to the Octopus. For Ici Japon, having something like the Jax, how do you stop it? How do you stop it once you get into those late games when he's in the side lane?
A very good point. Battle dance.
Ah, so he battle shimmies out of that one.
Shimmies. Yeah.
Sashay away. There you go.
But it's not the superiority of my brain. All right, well, anyone out there, if you learn about the flow state today, make sure you drop me a message as I want to find out a little bit more. Maybe about the play. The jump back's good call. The Forge got even better, though. Howling. It's a circle of life until he's dead. First spot's going to be a trade there. Cax managed to get Maintenance down in the end, so both top laners are dead. Both top laners still have TP, though, to match.
As traded kills for the junglers work out in favor of Wukong, who's got a bigger first power spike than Sejuani has with that Triforce.
True. Anything else? Not real.
Yeah, it's not great either. It's tough to execute as well.
True. This might be as well. I mean, Enzo, once again, might be caught out. He pulls out the Magnet Storm. Permafrost is going to follow, though, and Thearcax runs right into the fight with Heartsteel. He's tanking up until now. He flashes away, starts with Shovers Isma. Gets a Cyclone of the Gods. In goes Hansam D, though. Flashes for the ulti, and now pulls out this big gun. Enzo is one shot away, and Hansam D in the blinding light will not find anything in amidst that darkness either. So, a kill goes down. It's Isma in the end. Opens up Dragon. IJC once again winning out a fight in yet another game.
Limping away, KCB only losing 1 member, but it was close to even more falling down here. Ici Japon demonstrating once again their superior team fighting and skirmishing. It was the story of game number 1, and so far with these 2 teams, you know, I want to see better objective setup, you know, and so the question would be, can we get that to work in these teams for the advantage? Because so far it's been kind of sloppy, right? And specifically sloppy from KCB is here. This blue buff contest might be more.
But Enzo has gone on to Certus. The follow-up's going to come through, call the Forge God and Cyclones, and long-range engage there. Victor this early with a Searing Charge. Doesn't do much, but he's taken a while to die. They've moved into a choke, so an option here for Hansam D to start firing away, but X is doing the same thing. And on this Ashe, he got some bullets down. Big shutdown as well. X are now on the board in a big way.
IJC just getting a little bit too complicated. Doing things early. They do have the tools to make it happen early on, and IJC, they want to be chilling, but this is a TP coming through to a Jin Trap. They're going to contest.
Hard commit, no steal. Smite not there for Thearcax. The engage has started off. Enzo gets in. A Magnet Storm easily done. It's from the rear. Maitner has lined it up, and Hansam D opens up first, and Howling is drawing the whole team with a Mega Blast Cone as well. He pops back in! Howling just got out and then decided to die. Round 2, why not? I think a bit of an in.
A tiny bit of an in right there for Howling. That was a howler. That's what that was. That was. You don't want to be grouping up, especially now, potentially ever, right? And you want to play through Howling in that side lane. It's KCB who want you grouped up, and you're playing right into their hands.
And I mean, KC Blue as well, like, their damage is building up faster than you'd expect to. You look at Isma setting up the engage onto Theocax to tank his member, and so might not get the engage, but they're forced once again. IJC to move out of position. They've lost all control over this dragon and spawning in 5 seconds. Mid push is going to go over to them as well. And so you can see Howling just committing to sides, because what else do you do at this point when KC Blue group up for a 5-man stack? Even moving towards mid turret. With the Herald going down as well, ulti missing onto Isma. No catch, no pick, and they're going to lose an objective for it as well.
A turret down though for EC. They get to hold that one out for now. That mid tier 1 is always quite important. We'll be taking that Dragon overall KCB alongside the feat that has been secured for them a little while back. This is more what I want to see, honestly, from Ici Japon. I think this is kind of how they should be playing out their team comp. You stick Howling in that side lane. You let him play for the side, for the towers. He's already got one. And like, you're kind of seeing it a little bit on the minimap, but yeah, like Mainter showed up and Howling didn't stop. He just kept pushing, and Mainter's only issue, the only thing 15 minutes until you're happy to contest, happy to play for things. And get all eyes constantly as a hold it still. X is in trouble.
Arrow for Curtain Call. And obviously, you're not going to do anything about that, but it's ulti for ulti, and so might be caught out. He can't crash down in time. Prime sets up with the quickness, and down goes Ensur in the end. Hansumdi yet another kill. This is the carry of IJC yet again in this game. So getting resources onto this Jhin, while there is an Ornn, it's still working out for the squishies.
Right, now look at the map, see what's happening here. Not too much. That's just another random kill. Nothing happening. And it's going to be a very slow time for Howling to push into this tier 1 bot, as he's got to start from his innos. We have the wall, The
Call the Forge God is a pinch, so maybe onto Theocax. He kites forward, flashes away from the seismic shot. There's good poke, but the teleport means IJC want to commit a little bit more to this. Mate in the front line. Certus has no damage. The teleport may be a little bit high feet after KC Blue. Feels like they blew some of them.
To get them through this early stage where they can't team fight, where they still need to scale, and it's through Jax creating loads of pressure. Kind of bouncy-esque pressure is what I want to see, right, from Howling. But they're just not doing it.
Well, Certus, really nice sidestep there. Slowq might be in a bit of trouble. It's a 1.5 item Victor, but he's dodged everything from this Talia. Also, the Archangel shield is now down. Rather, Seraph's as Slowq just backs away. No one nearby. Certus going to run down the wave, and we look for the burst. That 1v1 might continue a little bit later while everyone's eyes are towards top. No Baron available, but Atakan, that's where it spawns, and the push from Howling enables IJC to get control of River.
45 seconds until this Dragon comes up, and we know how these teams have been playing. They're going to contest this. Both of them are going to bash theirs up against the wall and try and find a way, for better or for worse. And whereas I would like to put this in the face...
up and available. Isma just hovers and threatens now with 2 items on the Wukong as well. Over the wall, Theocax finds it, flashes in a straight line. Slowq, that ain't in. Arrow not going to find anything, but Howling gets a kill. Isma gets the ulti as it's all a wombo though, and set up with a Magnet Storm. IJC stayed for maybe a little bit too long. Flash away after the rhythm goes down. And so it gets poked a little bit. That's the Victor's Chaos Storm doing its work. Hansumdi hasn't unleashed the damage yet. Looking for some autos to come out onto Mate. It means nothing. Ensur is the engage tool who's poked out on the back end as Curtain Call is going to fly into this Ornn, trying to get this other engage tool down nice and low. Howling thinking about how he can get in and go, but the Searing Charge set up. Mainter in trouble. Flashes in a straight line yet again. We're going to stop doing that as Hansumdi is still carrying. Dragon goes down, but now KC Blue have to get the hell out of dodge. Hans is running this game. And if they stay any further, KC Blue are going to get taken the neck down.
Yeah,
about Hansumdi. Like, this guy is almost 3 items strong, and yes, Infinity Edge is coming, and you'll say, yeah, but there's no one in the way. But against these squishies, as Howling might be doing the same thing, Slowq in a lot of trouble. Remember, those boots aren't going to do anything for him. Wall, not negated. Timing there from Howling, maybe a little bit late the games, but all around, it is a bit of a vacuum, isn't it? That's the hardest thing, is like, these teams know each other well, as Slowq doesn't know that Howling's in the bush. And again, bopped away, Howling with a solo kill. It happens again. Slowq is indeed having a roughie.
Please do not TP mid, Howling. Please stay bot.
True.
Please stay bot. Push. We have the numbers advantage now.
Down there as well. More important piece maybe to the team fight, you could argue, is set up there from KC Blue. But remember, they've got numbers disadvantage until they teleport in. But in front of the face of Jax, they can't do that at 6k. Disengage from bot on the bottom right of your minimap. Diakak might be able to look for the turnaround. Enso sets up with the Magnet Storm with the Cyclone as well. It's good from Isma, but now it's only onto the tank. Victor has scaled and Certus flashes forward to get the damage down. Onto Exo, who gets poked out. Certus is willing to die for it because they've got a GA. One withdrawal already. Set up from Maitner. He's teleported in. Searing Charge is good. And onto Diakak, he gets a little bit, but Howling joining in. It's just that much bigger, it seems, now that all the engage is down. Maitner is going to die for real. A shutdown over to Howling as well. Ulti out from Slowq. This Talia has had minimal impact while the rest of IJC are fighting their way back into this game.
Dude, Certus right-clicked the blast cone as Slowq was going over it on a wall, and it very nearly bopped Slowq off. That was crazy.
Oh, Deadly Flourish as well. Wait. Hansam D has flash available. He gets movement speed off the minions. I think Slowq might be dead. Certus looking for the withdrawal. He can run for this. Slowq flashes forward, shields out. It is a withdrawal, but Hansam D, Deadly Flourish collected. That trade is not worth it.
That's not even technically a kill, bruh. Can't pick it up, but just look how different this would have been if IJC, these were proper deaths, right? If this was actual deaths here, it would have been completely different and much better for KC Blue.
Well, Isma, he's caught out to come back to life. I don't know what's happened here, but Isma is just dead. Certus drops the Chaos Storm, the Arcane Storm, whatever version you prefer. Jungler's down for 40 seconds. Dragons for free now by IJC, and Ici Japon is running the map now all of a sudden. I've got to say, the mid game is not going well in both these games by KC Blue. The team fights when they come down to it. IJC
they got in game one,
yeah,
and now in game two as well. At this point, it's scary for KC Blue because IJC's come online and now they're going for the Baron.
Oh, Diakak's right in front of it, happy to tank it up for the time being, while KC Blue, their entrance is negated. Howling is now on a flank on top of a ward, and so might jump in, but that Baron's going to be dead. He will be too if he steps any further forward. Good zoning, clean control, not overstaying. Baron, 4K gold lead now in game two by AJC.
30 minutes KCB had to try and make it happen with this early game. It's a tough drop. How do you stop the onslaught here?
Oh, yeah.
The Octopus.
Bro, I am having takoyaki tonight, it seems, as IJC willing to face check this as well. Good little shove back. Diakak has to flush away, but look how deep they are. The turnabout, set up with Prime and the quickness as well, and Howling moving into the choke. It's good ulti from Mainter, but his shove gets nothing. IJC still all alive, and Howling in the middle. You're right. How does this guy die? He walks in, level 18 on the Jax. He doesn't even go down to half HP.
Pretty scuffed engage for IJC, but still comes out on top, and it's still enough with the Baron buff to push down mid lane as well. That's one turret. Potentially to be two turrets here as well, especially if you count the top lane. That's going to fall down to Howling. No hesitation now playing the side lane.
Yep.
Not much left standing here for KCB as far as structures go.
It's a 3K gold Baron power play already. A minute 20 left to go. Bot now being pinged out and in a turret there. Working because obviously IJC were opting into it. But then a little bit more time given. No advancement from KC Blue. And then suddenly the 5v5s are a lot harder to play out. When those elements become unkillable themselves, they don't get the perfect engage like this. Ulti pulled out.
Unfortunately for KC Blue as well, they actually have a pretty good pick comp, right? Like you have good skirmishing tools, good skirmishing damage. Hold that door.
Especially if enemy jungler's inting, running in a little bit early. Exa is on a killing spree for now. Curtain Call doing some work. Isma gets half shot at half health. Slowq in trouble, Howling in as well. Wait. He burns, he turns, and he's taken on the whole team. There's the Zhonya's. Well, Isma just gets destroyed by Hansam D. Even with their jungler running into 5 people, KC Blue just got traded.
That was a giga caster curse, I'm not going to lie, about not finding picks. But it doesn't matter. And this is where the game becomes almost unplayable now, you'd say, for KC Blue. Even when things go well, they
given over. Isma needs a miracle still here, and Diakak's not going to get Searing Charge in the end as well. Lights on for the Dragon because at 4K the arrow gets thrown out. Hansam D doesn't blink. He pulls out the Captain Jack while Howling pulls down the inhib turret. Prime's going to get engaged on. It's a miss though. There we go. Quickness as well. Diakak walks on in. Still no smite. He's going to die. It's a little bit messy from IJC while the Dragon still goes down. Slowq's in as well. This is a mistake. But Hansam D's still not dead. Maitner running for his life. Deadly Flourish. Howling's joined in as well. And even after every play looks a little bit messy, even after they lose 2, it still feels like it's going to be an even trade. Yes, Dragon for KC Blue. But at the end of the day, it's Inhib, turret, and top. You got to add to that mix as well.
Well, you delay the soul for KC Blue. A little bit more life left in you for this game.
I see a positive for KC Blue, but I'm still in my voice and obviously my words. I'm skeptical because Ici Japon, they just keep finding so many picks off the back end when it all looks horrible, when it looks like a bad engage. Isma zoned off. Baron is staring them in the face. Vision is lackluster right now, still for KC Blue. Getting out of their own jungle seems pretty hard as Enzo is going to face check here. He gets ulti straight away. Prime with the quickness as well. Gets over, finds a two-man. And look, Hansam D might be running into a tank, but with a Victor by his side, that tank's going to do nothing. Sends out the ulti, but into Prime. Again, it doesn't matter. The curtain call, but for whom? It could be with a seismic shove thrown out as well. The last shot thrown through just to send KC Blue packing away from the Baron. That could just be IJC's.
Didn't need to get any kills. Don't need to find a big old team fight. Push down the Nexus. It's enough to push them away and move on to the Baron. But KC Blue, they're not finished.
Well, there's no ulti from Isma though. Slowq needs to get a perfect Weaver's Wall. Baron pulled off for a potential throw as that ward spots the health bar. But Theocax, he's got a lot of lettuce to munch on for the time being. Apparently it's honeydew either way. Fruit, vegetables, both good for you. And both setting you up. Mainta here is by himself. Over the wall, Enzo is there. Deadly Flourish not going to connect. And IJC still trying to find a pick here for an over 7 KC Blue.
Ooh, okay, we get a bit of time to breathe now in this game.
Now look up here. This is what the Observer does. Tells you where to look, so I don't have to tell you. With the Blast Cone, now you're going to watch at this Jack's flank again. Shattering Strike is out, but Enzo might be the target. He's getting bopped around a little bit. A Seismic Shove away. KC Blue are disengaging an Enzo. Close to a Permafrost, but no Sejuani nearby. It's a good call, the Forge God, but it's a disengage. It doesn't set up with the arrow as well. That's 1. 2 ultis down, and a low health rel from Enser. Good health bars from IJC. Baron starts again.
Last time IJC started this up, KC Blue tried to contest. Yeah, we're not messing about with this, are we? IJC, they certainly don't want to throw this game away with a sloppy Baron play. Especially with Dragon spawning in 20 seconds, and that would be Soul, arguably more valuable than the Nash at this point.
True.
It's easy to take away as well. The question being, can KC Blue pull out another miracle stop? Or does the Cinderella story of game number 2 end here?
Waiting for Enser. Howling has found the rel once again. He got low before off this Jax. Magnusthorn going to be used as well. Flash away, or rather, Zhonya's from the shove. Howling has now found a new target. Onto Exa. So he gets the stun up, and Howling is now just carrying the game in this one fight. Enser was no business being there, and as he tried to walk into the rest of the fight, 2 members now lay dead. Big death time is here at 40 minutes. Soul's going to be taken, and again, we're just back at this point where the game feels like it's still in IJC's favor.
Well, Certus got caught right at the beginning of that fight. Looks kind of good for KC Blue, but not good enough.
Just in case, Prime is zoning off. Actually just going to play defensive here around the Baron. Not going to go down super fast with Sam D. I mean, that was a 2K, 2.5K, 4th shot, by the way. Look at the damage. He's doing 1,000 each shot.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Kind of Cho'Gath ult on a 4 to attack cooldown at this point when you've got 6 items. Kind of spooky stuff. Oh, man, as much as KCB have been holding on at this point, you know, Soul, Baron, things just keep slipping away from them, and you have to feel like it's going to get harder and harder to hold on. We are 42 minutes into the game, which is probably a good 15 longer than it should have been, but Howling.
There is good damage. He's got Wit's End, though, to negate as he wants those auto attacks down. Call the Forge God going to be used. Howling caught out yet again. Seismic Shove flashed away from them. Used a lot now with the Searing Charge as well. KC Blue, no call. That's down. No arrow either for a short amount of time, but they do find some jacks.
Make it efficient. Here he is, though. He's back on the map. Here's Howling.
There we go.
Who stops him? Who stops him?
Waves aren't synced up. That's the only thing I'll say, but at the very least, you're right. What stops this? Is call the Forge God onto Certus.
Push mid, push mid.
Mainta thinks about it. There's a good shove back, but it's onto the Sejuani, and so Theocax happy to absorb it. A double inhibitor now down. Certus using the pressure. Isma flashes for the Cyclone because he needs a kill, but this Victor is scaled. Isma running away, but not with his life. He's in the fountain. 60 seconds dead on the jungler. 4 versus 5. The Chaos Storm growing to push the wave, and this feels like the last stand that just went on and on and on and on. KC Blue might be #1 seed yet again for the LFL, but you look towards the French fans, I think they'll be supporting something in the ocean this time around rather than a land animal known as a blue wall. That's right. Objective things. Maintenance is going to take a bullet. So is Enser. The fourth might just kill somebody, and in the end, with Victor damage down, this will finally be the game. 45 minutes of determination, but it's not enough for KC Blue. Match point, a 2-0 start, and this team has come out of the woodwork with surprises today.
History. Nidalee going to have a monster game. Like, this is going to have to be like a pure canyon game.
Aaron Howling can't get a trade in response, but now that's down, lacerate forward, and with a quick Drakehound step, ends up becoming even. This turning into a dive against the wall. Masuha holds his ground, sets up the shield. Wind becomes lightning is an afterthought, and first blood goes to Hansam D again. A Grapevine, a re-dive, a phosphorus bomb, and they're continuing this dive. Hansam D's going to dive for this, but look at where the wave is. Yes, it's big for Isma, but that bot wave being denied is just as big, you could argue. So, what do you take away from that more?
Oh, yeah.
Slow Q, not again, not again, not again, not again. Certus, a flash for nothing.
Was thinking about it.
And meanwhile, topside, hang on a minute. I was just talking about this Poppy, a good miss and a flash away. There's no such thing as a good miss as Howling gets out in the nick of time.
Wow, shades of game number one. We're across the board, across the map. 5 people almost dying here, but not quite the same. Yeah, it works out in favor of KCB as far as the kill totals go in the bot side, but you're very right. That's a lot of XP and a lot of gold to miss for Exakick down here.
I mean, Isma is quite strong, a level lead.
Yeah.
This is the thing. We wanted Isma to carry the game. If you're a KC Blue fan, that's exactly what you want. He gets a lot out of this play in response.
Okay, so Ensure is already hella low here, and accidentally with the Zenith Blade gets out.
Pressure is there, so as he got poked out a little bit before with the 1v1 trade between 80 carries, Isma is just starting up this objective right at the 6-minute marker. Spear does connect on the Prime. He got the engaged. Slow Q's coming in as well. Away goes Prime. He has to flash in the end as well. Certus has hit level 6 first, by the way. So a Spirit Rush available, but all the poke, all the spears, Isma is controlling this territory even better.
Yeah, they're in a choke as well here as Ici Japon, so it's very easy to land these spears on that entrance to the river. Good stuff the early game here from KC Blue. This is precisely what we needed to see. This team wants to make a bounce back.
Slow Q, there's the flash, the charm. It's not going to be interrupted. Fate sealed in the nick of time. Slow Q got the wave and thus got level 6.
Yeah, flash down as well though for Certus. Flash and ulti. So that kind of works out in the favor of Slow Q. My culture.
That's your cultural heritage. I mean, I also grew up with that. In Australia, I didn't really relate to it because I didn't know what was going on half the time. But is Isma sends a spear? You got to wonder, how far could it go? That's what I was thinking. Isma in a 1v1. There's no ulti here from Theo Carson. Like, this guy's dead. Isma is controlling the game. And in the long play, it feels like the kills on Nidalee are definitely moving down. This potential dive on the 2v3. It's going to happen again. This time, though, Exa has his ulti, and that charm that connects makes it so that Enzo has nothing. Wow. Okay, poke comes through, and Exa might still be in a bit of trouble for the redive. Isma needs to cover.
Now, as Isma just lose his jungle, this would be a way for Theocax to get back into the game, leveraging the strength of his laners to help him to counter jungle, which is just the worst feeling in the world. Let me tell you, as a jungler, when you are completely stomping your opposing number, but then his team comes in to invade your jungle to get him back into the game, it's pretty tragic.
He has ulti onto Hansam D, but walking away from the feathers. Nice pathing there. X is not going to get anything else. Enser's coming in yet again. Isma still covering here, but on a ward, they know that 4 members, or rather 3, are still on that bottom side. Flash onto Hansam D. That interrupt from Prime was mid-air. The feathers are going to fly out. Hansam D is going to flash away. Isma is here to help again. The flash forward from Theocax, but it simply gets Isma away with his own flash. 1-for-1 trade. Thinking about the recircle here. Wind becomes lightning, doesn't connect, and there's no follow-up with the Audacious Charge. Certus has his ulti to come in as well. Enser is going to face check this, but I think that's a mistake. He gets charmed up. He's still not level 6. Dredge line as well, and a bit of a mistake. KC Blue are getting low, but all about Isma. That Nidalee has to die. Fate Seal dodged away from Hansam D. He's still alive as well, and he stays kicking. And it's his mistake that pays the price, and it's an iron price. Jumping in. Isma gets the trade though. Hansam D getting low. Somehow, some way, they've turned it on the brink of yet another day. KC Blue staying alive in this series.
4 kills for 0 for KC Blue. It looked rough for them halfway through that fight.
I don't think he deserved it though. I'll be honest, I think Rika and Genax struggled coming into the league as much as I see the potential in both of them. That team fell apart a bit, and Isma felt like he got the brunt of it. Now in this game, stepping up massive on this Nidalee. He just picked up Sork shoes and a Leandri's before Theocax can even finish his first item. It's a 2k gold lead between jungles, and what a great position KC Blue are in this third game. Might not be final here as Nasur gets the engaged. Prime is trying to ward off. This Leona has been the only person to bear the bad news. 3 deaths now. Hansumd has 4 kills. And while I'm ready to keep talking up Isma, this bot lane needs to mitigate the disaster, because if this Corki gets kills, if this Corki gets gold, you know, you talked about it, like scaling-wise, there is going to be a problem.
And Hansumd as well, just with the nameplates. He's been so good so far in this series, hasn't he? He's been insane, carrying Ici Japon on his back. And yeah, even though today, this game right here has been the Isma show, still questions of whether he can continue. And that's totally not a criticism of Isma at all. He's playing great this game, but it's just Nidalee. It's really hard. That's why you often don't see champions like Nidalee in pro play.
Solo queue. Oh, yeah.
Solo queue.
Like, and then my mum telling me, like, actually, they kind of came like that. They were well off, and I'm like, oh no, I was a posh twat. No, I'm like, I wanted to be a criminal, you know.
Oh dear.
It's upsetting. Well, like this play, right? Certus going to be altered and dead in an instant almost. A great save. The Raptors, though, doing a bit of work. While meanwhile, Exa hit by distance out. The feathers don't fly too far as a Dredge line back is beautiful with a fate sealed. Sets it up in a choke. This should be unstoppable. Much like Slow Q getting out, but Nasur again, the bad end of bad kills. An ulti sends out, and Hansumd with kill number 5. It is literally Hansumd versus Isma in this third game.
And Hansumd comes out on top of that one.
Struggled a bit. There's been massive donations of gold over to the Sire as well. Even mid, 1,000 gold up. So it's about a 1,500 gold lead in total for KC Blue. And as they move up to top towards this Herald in 35 seconds, there is a lot of damage to follow out. Now, Nasur is on the wrong side of dodge. Yet again, as he then plays in, he's got to turn this into something, but into Prime. That won't matter. Onto Certus, great charm. They donate the kill over to Theocax in the end as well. 5th death at 15 minutes. This Leona has got to stop getting caught out.
And Stuart's just had a bit of a tough series, hasn't he, so far?
God.
It's yeah.
Corky.
It's been difficult. It's Manamune, or Mirror Mana specifically. And he's still just putting out so much deeps. Like, it's just crazy. You said a line about whenever Hansumd's been ahead, whenever he's been fed, like, Ici Japon's been really happy and had a great game, and he's always ahead.
Well, Prime is setting this up, though, onto Isma. Jungle versus jungle action. Wind becomes lightning. Good damage coming out now from the Xin Zhao as well, but he's poked out, and Isma sends a spear to his death, but a little bit low as the charm doesn't connect, and Certus is zoning off the rest of the fight. Howling now finally getting involved as maintenance there to zone control. IJC are running back because Hansumd is in a little bit of threat, and with that as well, with Isma's damage on the return.
But this Herald actually pretty big when there's still that first blood tower available, and with Dragon spawning in 10 seconds, you can even leverage it to get that prio, to draw someone away to Shelly, to defend against Shelly while you pick up that Dragon.
Wait, sealed on the turret though. This is turning into a serious dive. Certus gets a good charm, flashes away. Slowq follows and kills him. Turret shot number last will not hit. Slowq with a solo kill. This is the resurgence this mid laner needed in this series when he got criticized so heavily last game.
This is the Slowq that we built up coming into this series. The killer in that mid lane. There's Shelly going to take that.
Finally going down, yeah, but it's going to be a turn this time. It's good for Nasur. Setting up with a Rift Herald knock-up as well. It's knock-up galore. Prime goes down to Exa. KC Blue not only got mid-turret, they got top. They get that kill on top of it as well. And now 4k gold lead. They are starting to snowball with this lead.
That's got to be the Dragon as well now for KC Blue. Crucially, that would be Dragon number 3. Sole point right now.
Well, Howling's on the wrong side. Going to be stopped. He actually flashes.
Interesting.
A little bit worried there as Theocax tries to get in, but I mean, this third Dragon, they want to stop it. However, I don't know. You just lost flash on Howling. He has ulti to get in. Slowq zones. Thoughts? Feeling?
Yeah,
no, maybe your prayer. You are. It did. Maintenance gets charmed though and dies. The third Dragon is taken down. If KC Blue can get out, it's okay, but suppress in the back, and a setup of the public execution is a shutdown. Certus with one more reset. He has a blast going to play with. Isma now is the target. Sets up the charm, max range, orb of deception. Isma not poked out by the big one, by Hansumd. 2 kills. The cost of Dragon, but Soul Point for KC Blue all the same.
Soul Point, very valuable here for KC Blue, but I do think if you're Ici Japon, you'll take some kills here in this game, where it was kind of just slipping away from you right now, and you still have that win condition on the Corki, on Han Samdi, almost at that Mirror Mana now as well. Just funneling a little bit more gold into him. It's certainly a way to win this game, and to sweep KC Blue, which would be an absolute upset.
Especially when we just a lot of people like, oh, KC can do it. Obviously, that was the time before Kalis got to debut. And yeah, KC Blue got knocked out. And then onwards, we've rode to a different LFL versus LFL finals with Vitality B versus BDSA. And it's funny again, the region produced so many stars. But here again, I don't know if everyone thought the stars would be here in this game. But in game 3, look, we return back to lighting up KC Blue now around the Arakan. Around the spot side, they've got push as well. Look at the Poppy moving down. It begins, it's going down quick.
Can IJC stop this Atakan? The health is burning, the TP's coming through.
Ici Japon setting up, but it's down. The flowers are now exposed though. Death charge zones them in the back, and Prime gets the engage onto Nasur. They're using quite a lot here. Charm goes up but bopped away. Theocax is not in the fight anymore. Maitner has sent away the enemy jungler. One of the other big follow-up tools. Flowers went down mainly to KC Blue in the end as well. So that's a successful Atakan.
Ici Japon got a few of those flowers, but yeah, like you mentioned, most of them looked like they went over to KC Blue.
And also Nasur that, having to fill in due to visa issues. So,
yeah.
I think as Fate Sealed comes in, KC Blue playing an uphill battle, but how uphill is it in this game? 2 versus 1, Howling. It's just them better things at this point, but finally sealed up. Isma gets a kill, but meanwhile this happens. Prime might just be dead. The feathers are out, and Theocax does not want to go into the heart of them. Charm doesn't miss, or rather connect. And SloQ now teleports in. 5 members are in this river, and 2 members of IJC are dead again.
Surprising for Extra and Ensteel there to take on the 3 versus 2 and come out on top. Wasn't looking to see that one, but that's great news for KC Blue right here. More aggression into the enemy jungle.
Does it. The spear set up. Zenith's Blade will follow through as well, and Isma just pounces right on in. Maintenance sets up with the engage, and nowhere will Theocax go. Isma is godlike, and the jungle lead continues to grow, and KC Blue just might have the heart in this game to start pouncing back in the series.
5,000 gold lead at this point, and this jungle gap has been just big, very big in this one. I mentioned he needed Canyon performance, and yeah, jungle Canyon so far. Isma on a Nidalee. Nidalee always has that asterisk of can they keep it going? Will they fall off? And so far it has been pretty clinical by the French jungler. And that's exactly what they needed with this team comp and with the way that this series has gone to keep them in it.
I mean, again, everyone else is flourishing off the back of it as well. Seeing Isma on something carry-like maybe opens the doors for other picks. Like, we talked a little bit about things like Kindred, We talked about other things like we saw the flex of the Zyra. The big question, where does it go from here? Howling in a bit of trouble, and in the 1v1 he tries to step away, but SloQ lands enough in the end. A solo killer, maybe a confidence boost for this guy. As
he's back. He's back. This is it. This is a SloQ we were expecting to see coming into this series. It's SloQ that we have seen.
Yeah. You know, the dirt in this game is that this Nidalee, if she falls, if she dies, you're wondering, how do we bring this back?
I was going to say digging our own graves, maybe.
If she falls back, I would say normally it'll be sweet, but as Exa takes a bit of damage, look at that. Healing comes through. There's so many more elements now into this game. There's a Xayah who's kept track, and there's a 3k gold lead on SloQ. So Red Flag comes through, it is a good hook, and there's a charm as well, but the bot back from Maitner gets it disengaged. Solar Flare locks down as well, and yes, the follow-up would be great, but Theocax has now run out of his ulti too. KC Blue, you look at that primal surge, and Nasur's back up to full HP. Isma gets another kill, and this one seems to be in the too hard basket for now.
Yeah, I feel like it. SloQ actually took a turret in the 1v1 versus Howling, so he has now become an unstoppable overflow too. It's all working for KC Blue, and this is what we were expecting coming into the series and what those KC fans were hoping to see.
Uh-oh. Certus has no ulti. He's got Flash available, and Charm tries to predict. He's got a minion wave in the way, so as his push comes into inner, You'll just see Nasur zone off as well. 4 members around top. The Baron's going to start doing work and almost a 9k gold lead. It is incredible to see, like, not only the bounce back, but how one-sided some of these games have been. There's been a lot of blood, a lot of throws, I think, in the first 2 games, but once someone has a firm lead, they kind of just grow it from there.
Yeah, I'd say this is probably the most one-sided game, the most convincing game that we've seen in this series. I mean, I agree with you, but also just in the context of how those games have been.
It's been a cleaner game, I guess, as slow queue sets up and gets bopped for a little bit.
That's it. That's the word. Clean. This has been one of the cleaner executions of this series so far. Like, yeah, even though Hamsamdi has found his test, but can they do it?
You'd think so. At this point, it does feel like KC Blue, if they can't close this game out, then there's not going to be much hope. Maybe a pick out onto Maitner. That's a Poppy, though. He flashes away. He ulties. Mid-interrupt from Prime. Gives him some time. Solar Flare. Charm doesn't connect. Good electrocute, but Certus hasn't done any meaningful damage. By the way, that was a spear onto Prime, and now he's at half HP. Watch the poke continue. The longer this dragon is leashed, the worse it's going to get. A good route back onto the enemy jungler as KC Blue is still playing with time. Prime is just dead. The Poppy ult sends away Theocax, who's just burning to his death off screen. While KC Blue are just going to yoink the dragon, and we're back to square one. In with the TP, defensive here. KC Blue are going to run it down mid. They are still alive in this series. All they need is another wave.
Just the cannon minion alone by himself, but here come those minions. This Nexus turret isn't going to be long for the world, but can KC Blue end?
Well, there's no way they don't hunt. Somebody took one spear, forward slow Q, misses everything. It was more a flash away. Elder destroys, and with a 13,000 gold lead just about, KC Blue are now back and thriving. At least after this game 3 win.
With his grab, or the threat of the grab, and then you're in trouble. But if you're constantly pushing him under tower, or you're constantly just playing under turret and you're getting pushed, which is both of these things are happening right here, as you can see on your screen.
And Civic can frontline this every time shield's up.
True, yeah.
So any poke, and remember trading with Siva, now because of shield giving health back, not mana anymore, it's just easy for him to step up. Look at this. Exit doesn't care, and with Dragon down as well, they know that Isma's bot side. They don't know if he's level 6 yet, as he's pretty close. Has now just punched that number. Knew that Isma was coming in.
That's a smart respect flash, I say there, from Howling. If you get knocked back or slowed, easy to dogpile in with the paranoia. And somebody should just be jumping away from this one.
Step forward, ulties, and then walks away. The chain's going to connect. Boomerang. Not enough damage yet, but Sam D still pulls out the barrier. Meanwhile, there's a gang coming down, and level 6 on the Viego too. Who's going to burn the flash first? Hook up and set on in, while Exa is also a new target. Underneath the turret, Shuriken Flip connects, and it's nicely done from Certus. No reset needed, but a double kill on bot.
Nicely done here for IJC. First blood and a secondary as well. And Ismo was in spawn this whole time. These are the kind of plays where from IJC.
Did you see, I think it was the activated auto from Certus, or either that or the Fan of Knives, that stopped the spell shield. Then he Shuriken flipped as an attempted steal, but they're deep for this as well. The setup with the Aurora ult is good between worlds, but the ulti from Viego doesn't find a kill. But until then, we see a kill go down regardless. A Nocturne now without his ulti, without his input. Certus coming in on this Akali. Amidst 3 as well. The setup from Prime is big too. Slowq has to get the hell out of there for the Unbreakable. Set up again. The Heartbreaker is a playmaker and a 5-0 show starter for IJC in Game 4.
3 kills for IJC off the back of a play that KCB initiated. They're the ones who walked into ICG's jungle.
Viego with the lead, always a big tick. And after that fight, seeing Akali with an early lead, seeing this Tristana, Hans MD once again on the spot. It's confusing, as I'll tell you about it in a second. Howling might be in trouble. Dominus is available. Will he be able to pop it? Yes, and he can heal up here with a Culver Meek, but instead just gets bopped down. A good punish there from KC Blue. And Isma giving a kill over to Maynard. Now I need to tell you, I'm in the flow state, guys. It's like it's Aang, the Last Airbender. He was in a flow state for ages.
Quite possibly.
That's how he learned all the elements.
I've not seen it, dude.
Oh my god. Oh, buffer. Sam D might be in a bit of trouble. There's a bot there as well. The ulti going to be popped too, and the whole team's there. Shut down. Sam D taken down, and that was a really nice interrupt.
That was an unnecessary death for Hansamdi there. And yeah, what? Okay, we'll let that one go. That happened. What does IJC get on the other side of the map because of this? Howling is pushing down that top side. He might be able to take that tower as well, actually, which will be the first turret of the game. Yep, it's going to fall down right here. And boom, there you go. So to be honest, in the grand scheme of things, that's kind of worth it.
Or it might be even more worth. Look, the support's caught out. It's going to be another kill over to Theocax. Just look towards bot. Certus with the all-in. Maintenance flashes over the wall. A perfect execution waiting for him. Certus is just waiting, and as he gets 5-point strike down, the damage is coming in slow. I mean, he needs a bit of help here. Shuriken Flute going to be taken, and there's no way you go back in. He gets out before the jungle can intervene. Meanwhile, Axa's in trouble under his own turret. He gets ultied and bopped down by Sammy D.
That is such an opportunistic kill under that turret there. He didn't even have time to react with his own flash. Axa just brought low. And Theocax having a great game here on this Viego. 100% kill participation. Coming into this series, I made a point about how both these junglers will be picking the boring junglers, the facilitatory junglers, the dog junglers, if you will. Yeah. And we saw what was the very first champion picked in the very first game. Play more carry-orientated style in this Nocturne. And on the opposite side, Theocax on Viego, Triforce Collector. Hell yeah, it's the same thing.
This defensive play in this 1v3 has now turned into something big. Shuriken Flip connects, and he's going to jump in under turret. This is a bigger play than we let on. Nasur almost dies, and under turret, Isma can't do too much. Look towards mid. Meanwhile, with the Herald push coming in as well, KC Blue need to make something happen fast, but they're getting teleported on. They're getting collapsed, and they're getting ensued. This could be the game-breaking play as one kill already down. Onto Isma, the jump. Sam D sets up for his jungler to spike the ball. Onto this Nocturne, the flash away, the smite. Theocax ulties in, under turret. There's no paranoia to ensue, and Nasur is the last one to drop. It is 10-2 kills, and the second seed of the LFL is once again making KC Blue theirs.
3 kills for nothing there for IJC, and on the rest of the map, yes, Extra got a push in the mid lane. Yes, Mainter got a push in the top lane, but not much else. Pretty much for free were those 3 kills for Ici Japon.
And it's again the same story of this whole series of what it feels like that KC Blue have relied on here today. If Isma's not able to create an advantage, if Isma's not able to before, there are in things like the LEC, when it was just them in the LFL and international representation that they relied on, and things like EMEA Masters. This would be a disappointment for the fans to follow up, so Isma jumps in and tries to make something happen. Up against the Shroud, he's going to be fleeing for the time being. He's bought some time, but Maintenance got him up against the wall. Execution out, a Shuriken Flip there as well. Nasur, gets the flash over the wall. So Certus out for the time being, but yeah, how does he follow his way through? Maintenance got him once again. A kill goes down, a shutdown goes into X's pocket.
It was just one after another, wasn't it there for Certus? Out of the pan, into the fire again. the kitchen was in hell. Everything was on fire. But it is going to be in response to the Atacan for him. But obviously, it's difficult. It's difficult to adapt to this kind of environment. And the expectations that come through, the pressure with that as well. What their comp wants to do this time around in this game. Still just trying to buy time, though, for Siva to really come online. 3-4 items.
Hook, though, again, Nakama, Squishy, and Volatile. Prime with a good hook there. 4 versus 5, 30 seconds on the Karma, and with no enchanter for any type of front-to-back fight, this becomes a pretty solid Baron.
You think so? Yeah, this will be a hard one to stop. No vision really either.
Look at sides though. No matter what, they can delay this Baron Fox drop.
Yeah, they don't have to. They absolutely don't have to.
In a top.
You're absolutely right. Certus is taking around that top side too. Howling's not done. He's going to keep on pushing. And when KCB go to respond, go to answer these side lanes, you just start it back up again. A lot of damage from the side of Ici Japon as well. This one might not be long for this world, but KCB, they're not going to let it go for free.
Not at all. 5k pulled off, and again, push and pull, to and fro as Theocax just moves away. Top turret goes down. 7,500 gold. Look at the Renekton bot. They're going to commit. Isma has to pull aside, but he's on his own. The whole team moving up. 3 members of KC Blue wants Certus, but Certus wants those 3 members. Onto Maitner he goes. Prime is now moving up as well, and that's members shown on the map. Renekton continues to push another wave, and they have to back off while Certus keeps shoveling in, you know?
He doesn't
like a free meal.
Stop. He does not have to stop. JCB Certus digging away in that top lane.
Yeah.
He's, just on. You got 3 leaky lanes, man, if you're KCB, and it's so difficult to dig yourself out of it. Like, the answer really comes from the paranoia.
Get hit by a hook, then SamD will hit him. The damage comes out in return. It's a 3-item Sivert, remember, as well as back to the waves they go. KC Blue trying to clear what vision they can, but again, side waves are an issue. Look at them. Ulti sends out, tries to get a spell shield. Prime gets it anyway, but hook does not connect. Oh dear. Now he will just dominate. There's the Aurora ult used as well, but he will not die.
Just
Flashes.
nah.
They're getting desperate. And with slow Q moving in as well, I think Howling can 1v2 this or at least kill Isma. That's Renekton for you. Another Slice and Dice and running onto slow Q. He's got Dominus still ticking away for the damage. He knows he's dead. He can't get out. Howling with the 1v2, add insult to injury. And I think KC's B team is in the dirt. Certus making it so as Exa flashed away, but not to survive. Maitner is the last remnant. Nasur filled in, but what can you do? IJC better on the day, better in team fights, better in this game, better in the majority of the series. And now as Baron helps them cleave through their first grand final and LFL second seed with so much vigor, so much power. They taste good, they look good. This octopus is swimming its way right to a grand final to wait for your Sunday at EMEA Masters in winter. Beating down KC Blue 3-1. IJC have cleaned house to be one of your grand finalists.
IJC will go on to face the winner between Team Phasma and Los Ratons.